Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. In a new location, of course, I am in Italy. Guys, I have been traveling, and it's glad to be back. I'm good to be back. I had a little bit of jet lag yesterday, so I couldn't do any streams. Lots of traveling, overnight traveling as well. As you can imagine, it takes its toll, of course, guys. Absolutely, it does take its toll. But I hope everyone is doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Let me just set up something for you guys. Let me just see this. If I could set this up. There we go. Hope you can hear me nice and clearly, guys. Let me know if you can't. Thank you so much for joining me anyway today, guys. We're going to get in a bit of news, but first of all, I wanna talk about Arsenal. Arsenal won yesterday by 2-1, and I find it really funny. What do I find funny? Well, basically, I find it funny that, Man United won against Wolves away from home, by the way, by 4-1. 4-1, right? And we were criticized for conceding a goal. Arsenal defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers yesterday by 2-1 and scored in the last minute. Now, we were criticized. It's not good enough. This is not good enough. We considered a goal. You shouldn't be considering a goal against Arsenal, against Wolverhampton Wanderers, etc. And, it just goes to show you, isn't it? It just goes to show you exactly how silly and ridiculous some of these people are when they talk about football. It really is, because at the end of the day, this is the Premier League, and Arsenal were very, very fortunate to win that game yesterday. Very fortunate to win yesterday. And it's exactly what we're talking about. We should have won against Wolverhampton Wanderers by 8-1. But do I look at football in absolutes? Do I look at football like, that happened like that, so this happened like this? Well, we should have beat Wolves 8-1, so we should defeat Arsenal by this. This is how people tend to look at football, and it's crazy at the end of the day. But exactly what I said they'll probably end up scoring against Arsenal, and they go, no, and they're never going to score against Arsenal. But they have been exposed. They've been exposed to football, really. And to be honest with you, it's ridiculous, guys. It really is. And, Wolverhampton Wanderers could have got a point yesterday, and perhaps should have got a point against the supposedly best team in the country. And this is what we're talking about, guys, and Man United defeated them pretty easily. Man United could have scored another few goals if we had a little bit of more time, of course, guys. But that is just the way it is with Manchester United, isn't it? The way that people tend to look at Man United, even as some of our fans, which is disappointing, of course, guys. It is disappointing. But anyway, guys, we move on from that absolute nonsense, of course, guys, and we got on with the real football in regards to Man United. Now, Manchester United, of course, have been linked with a number of players, not least in this January window. Man United do need signings. Our squad is very threadbare. It's very weak. So we do need to rebuild this squad. We do need a few midfielders in there in particular, guys. We do. And the midfielders that we need are midfielders that are going to take us, hopefully, into those Champions League positions and solidify our position as a European team. It's so important that Man United do qualify for the Champions League. It really is. It's so important because, obviously, we get that 100 million in the bank. We attract more players in the summer, of course, because we're in Europe and stuff like that, of course, guys. But, a number of players that have been linked have been like, well, you know what, I'm not too sure about that guy. Oh, yeah, that guy is brilliant. Yeah, let's go for that guy, blah, blah, blah. But one of the players that I've spoken about quite consistently on this channel is a gentleman named Nico Schlotterbeck. Nico Schlotterbeck is a 26-year-old Borussia Dortmund German international, 23 caps for Germany. He's a left back and a centre back, so obviously very versatile, of course, guys. He is quite popular. He's got Liverpool, Barca, Real Madrid, and Man City all vying for his signature, all interested in this player, guys. 23 caps, no mean feat for Germany. 40 million euros he's valued at 26 years old, decent age, a bit on the other side of what Ineos are looking for, but that is like a decent age, what we want, what is basically experience and youth at the same time, if you know what I mean, guys. But Nico Schlotterbeck has been rumoured to be signing for Man United, or could be interested in Man United come January, of course, which is interesting, guys. That is interesting because I like this player. I think he's a good player, and I think eventually he will become a world-class player. He really will. And if he goes to City or Real Madrid or something like that, they'll benefit for that. So Man United do need to pick it up in regards to these players. We are looking for a wing-back position. Ruben Amorim does want his own wing-backs. Of course, he hasn't got his own wing-backs in there, has he? He's got other managers' wing-backs and stuff like that. So, Schlotterbeck, Manchester United, all up for it. 40 million, probably raised to about 50 million, if we're being honest with ourselves, guys. Probably about 50 million euros it would be for the Man United. But you know what? When Real Madrid and Barcelona and Man City come calling and stuff like that, you know as well as I do that the price is just going to shoot up. It's just going to shoot up. It's just going to get ridiculous again, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Another player that you may have heard about over this last 24 to 48 hours, as mentioned by Ben Jacobs, of course, guys, friend of the show, Noah Sadiki. Noah Sadiki is a 20-year-old. He first came to light whilst he's playing for Ullian Saint-Galois in Belgium, I believe it is. He's 20 years old, valued at around 25 million. Currently playing for Sunderland in the Premier League, so he's got that Premier League experience. And, centre midfielder, defensive midfielder, and a right back. That's the kind of thing we're looking for at the moment, isn't it? That player that can be versatile, that can play around the pitch, that can cover for areas that, you know what, we're missing. Like, for example, we get a right back injured, Sadiki can just move into there, or we get the midfield injured, Sadiki can move in there, or we get the centre midfielder missing, and Sadiki can move into there as well. These are the kind of things that Man United are looking for. They're looking for players that are versatile, players that can play a number of positions, that can help with the squad. Obviously, it's not just about buying one player for a position. It's about buying a player that could be specialised in many positions. You need those type of players in the squad. I remember when Man United under Alex Ferguson, we used to have a player like John O'Shea, or we used to have further back, we used to have Ronnie Johnson, and we used to have players like that. You do need these kind of players in the team. You do need these kind of versatile utility man, so to speak, in the team, don't you? When I look at players that you need a specialist in, you need a specialist striker, definitely. The thing is that you can't have a guy who plays left midfield, right midfield, and striker. You do need that specialist number 9 who knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. There is a certain few positions that you need specialists in. Goalkeeper, for example. Obviously the goalkeeper, because obviously you're not going to have the goalkeeper, playing in midfield and stuff like that. Absolutely. Guys, let me just hello to the community. I hope everyone is doing good. Hope everyone is doing fine. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined me this morning. Of course, guys, let me say good morning to Kenyan. How you doing, my friend? Big weekend. It was a massive weekend, of course, guys. Big up, Benny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, mate. Good to see you. Of course, Kenny, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sal. These ex-footballers are losing respect day by day for their foolish takes, and I'm loving it. It's all about 3 points against Bournemouth. It is all about 3 points against Bournemouth. Now, look, one thing I would clarify, Kenny, is that there was two conflicting little stories going on there. There was Paul Scholes and there was David Beckham. David Beckham, ex-Man United legend. Paul Scholes, of course, ex-Man United legend. And whose opinion am I going to take as the gospel? There's Paul Scholes, who's doom and gloom every single time, always negative, always a pessimist in regards to Man United. And there's David Beckham, who's more, how would I say it, positive, glass half full sort of guy. Just like when the Qatar takeover situation was going on, who was pro-Qatar? David Beckham, of course he was. Paul Scholes is a negative guy. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if his personal life or whatever it is, but he's incredibly negative about Man United consistently. Look, one of the best players of all time, Paul Scholes is. Probably one of my favourite players, probably the favourite player during Alex Ferguson's period was Paul Scholes for me, and highly underrated and very, very important. But Paul Scholes has been very negative about Man United, not only apart from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not only about Ruben Amorim, but with Erik ten Hag and other managers as well. And sometimes you have to look at people when they're continuously being negative. Do they actually want to be positive? And that's what you have to ask themselves. You have to, do they want to be positive? Now, those people who can't see the woods from the trees, basically what I'm trying to say is those people who can't see the positive from what's going on at the moment, the improvements, what's going on at the moment, that is because they are generally just trying to be negative all the time, or they have an opinion and they don't want to be proven wrong in that opinion, and they want it to suit their narrative. They want their narrative to be the correct narrative, guys. And when you look at David Beckham owns football clubs, right? He owns football clubs. He's a proper businessman. He knows what goes on around a football club, and he's played at other football clubs as well. He's Real Madrid's, AC Milan's, PSG's, this and that. He's been around the block. He went to America. He played there as well. And he's done big things, guys. Since retiring, obviously, he's become an MBE, guys. So he's Sir David Beckham now, by the way. You become a Sir David Beckham for a reason, guys. And that's what we're talking about. So when David Beckham spoke about Ruben Amorim and sympathized with Ruben Amorim, what's going on at the moment, but also said that Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager, and he said basically he gets Man United. United. And this is what it says. So who am I going to trust in regards to Paul Scholes or David Beckham? I like Paul Scholes as a footballer, but Paul Scholes, let's not be honest, guys, he's 2 planks short of a piece of wood, isn't he? Let's be honest, guys. He's 2 planks short of a piece of wood, and I'm not going to listen to what he has to say because obviously David Beckham is more intelligent than him, and you have to say that, guys. I don't care what people say; it's an absolute fact. Factually, he is more intelligent than Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes. Look, I don't like people going on shows that with a Leeds United fan, by the way, Nicky Butt and David and Paul Scholes. Going on the show with a Leeds United fan, glorifying Leeds United fans. I don't agree with that, in my opinion. And I would trust David Beckham 9 times out of 10. He's one of the few players that I would have back at Man United in regard to a coaching capacity or an ambassador capacity. He would be one of the few players that I would bring back to Man United. Absolutely, 100%, guys. Absolutely. Big up Stephen Maguire. Big up Kenny. Big up Stephen Maguire. Hope you're very lucky, Arsenal. There you go. But there you go. Absolutely. Kenny. I don't want to hear our fan base saying that it's only Wolves now. Then exactly, Kenny. There you go. Contradictions left, right. I don't want to hear it's only Wolves. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we were slaughtered for destroying Wolves 4-1, and we should have won 8-1. We all know we should have won about 8-1. You know what I mean? We were destroyed for that. Where are those people now? Oh, we conceded a goal against Wolves. We should never concede a goal against Wolves. Who does that? Who concedes a goal against Wolves? Arsenal, number 1, top of the league, by the way. There you go. Your questions have been answered. Just hold that. Just come on the stream and say, listen, I got it wrong. Oh, underrated Wolves, blah, blah, blah. They should have drew yesterday. Let's be honest, guys. I don't want to be blaming, Arsenal's performance, this and that and the other. Wolves played very well, and Wolves should have won. Should have drew the game. Indeed, could have won the game as well, of course. But obviously, lucky Arsenal, lucky Arsenal, of course. Big up, Dave. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. Good to you. Were right about the football tacticals for dummies yesterday. I heard that delusional BS, and goodness me, these guys really want United to foul, and they can't. There's a lot of people that want them to foul. I don't know why some of them got a platform. I don't know why some of them are given a platform as well. There's a lot of people just want Man United to foul, Dave, and this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been advocating against for a very long time. You can have your opinions, and it's absolutely fine. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. What's going wrong? What's going right? Tomorrow we have an opinion about the game, about the lineup, about the way we're playing. I mean, as long as we all have the same vision, and that vision is we all want to win the game. Ultimately, don't we? We all want to win the game. Unfortunately, there's some people out there who don't want to win the game. They don't want to win the game. They want Man United to lose so they can come on the airwaves and come on the streams and say, I told you so, hold that, and this and that. And this is exactly what I've been preaching, guys, for a very long time now. And this is not going to change. This is what they do. This is how they get their likes and clicks, and this is what they do at the end of the day. You know, little kids in their 20s, and no disrespect, talking about Man United should sack Ruben Amorim standards. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I've seen 13 titles at this football club. I think I'll have an idea about what standards are. These guys haven't even seen standards. They've never seen what it takes to get to standards. And when you look at them, they're not very a representation of standards. So at the end of the day, I won't be too bothered about it. But one thing I do, I try and stay away from it, Dave, because obviously it just annoys me. You know, of course, because I know that generally deep down they're not Man United fans. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, and we have to accept that. Sadly, you know, these people are going to continue, and they're going to continue milking the club, and that's what they're going to do. This is what they do at the end of the day. You can tell from how disappointed I am, how much I want Man United to win, how much even at the bad times and the dark times, I'm always trying to stay a little bit zealous, a little bit positive, you know, even when it's doom and gloom. But I will bring out the truths, of course. I will talk about truths. I will talk about this. I will talk about that. I'll talk about various players and stuff like that. I will do that. I'll shy away from that. But what I won't do is hope my football club would lose so that, you know what, I'm proven right. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous at the end of the day. Big up, Dave. Big up, my friend. Big up, Kenny. Arsenal becoming like Liverpool, the most jammiest team last night. Yeah, they need to drop some more points. I hope they do. They're not very good. I mean, let's say it. Scary Arsenal, isn't it? The old scary Arsenal brigade. Oh, Arsenal was so scary. So scary. Goodness me. Just about beat Wolves at home, by the way. Goodness me. So we haven't had an easier game in the last few years, Man United. Man United haven't had an easier game in the last few years, guys. It's madness out there. Even though good morning. Oh, man, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I kept telling people to chill with the Arsenal glazing. Absolutely. They still have a lot of banana skins in both the Premier League and the Champions League. Can I say something, Dave? Yesterday, it really clarified something for me, and I've been saying it for a while as well. The glazing is it's nauseating. How would I say it? It's nauseating. It's ridiculous. The scary Arsenal, the amazing Arsenal, the best in the world. It's crazy. And we all know why they're doing it. And again, Dave, you have to wake up and swallow the coffee. It is all about them getting likes and clicks because they know that there's a huge contingent of Arsenal fans out there that, they love people, stroking their ego. They love that. That's what Arsenal fans love. And when you say, oh, scary Arsenal, are Arsenal the best in the world? Are Arsenal this? Are Arsenal that? You know they're going to love it, and they're going to come to your channel and they're going to get likes and clicks. So, however, with me, I can't find myself to say that they're even the best Arsenal team I've seen because they're not. They're not even close to being the best Arsenal team I've seen. I've seen great Arsenal teams. The 98 team, for example, was the best Arsenal team in my lifetime I've seen. Of course, I can't vouch for anyone else from the past, but that era there, the 98 team, was the best Arsenal team I saw in my life. But the glazing and the gaslighting into thinking that they're this amazing best team in the world is absolutely ridiculous. And every single week we get proven right because they were absolutely dreadful against Wolves. And that is no detriment to Wolves because it was actually Wolves who made them look dreadful. I don't want anyone coming on here saying, oh, but Arsenal were poor. Arsenal didn't perform because they were not made to perform. Man United went to Molineux the other night and could have scored 8 goals against Wolves, right? So that let's remember that 8 goals against Wolves we could have scored, and Arsenal just about squeezed through a 2-1 win in the 94th minute at home. Ridiculous, isn't it? Stephen, big up, Dave. Another Monday night game for Man United. Each are trying everything. Yes, Stephen, we spoke about this the other day that Man United keep playing late, of course, late. I mean, I think that's the 3rd time in 4 games or something like that. We played at midnight. I think we probably played the most at midnight. No, well, it's not midnight anymore. I'm in Europe now, guys, but we played 8 p.m. kickoff, of course, UK time, for 3 times out of 4 games, I think it is. And I think we played probably the most 8 p.m. kickoffs in the league. I do believe that. And Monday night. Monday night's the worst time to play football. It is. Thankfully, we're at home. We're at Old Trafford. That's better, of course. But Monday night is the worst time to play because it just doesn't feel like a football day for me. And I've always felt like that about Monday night football. I felt like you have to wait all the way to the end of the weekend until you play. People have to go to work and things like that. And obviously, I felt like, what are they trying to do with all these Monday night kickoffs? And yeah, exactly right. You do think sinister. You still start thinking to yourself, you know what? They're trying to hold us back. They're trying to make it more difficult for us on the day that we slip up. Man United could possibly be, 10 games, 1 defeat if they do manage to avoid defeat against Bournemouth. Hopefully we win against Bournemouth, of course. But if they manage to beat Bournemouth, then Man United are in a pretty good position, you know what I mean, when we're thinking about things. And we have to look at it and think, oh, you know what I mean? You're looking at the Champions League and you're thinking, look, by Christmas, we could be in the Champions League positions, guys. We could be up there. We could be like, and I said it before. I said it on other channels as well. I said it, like, you know what? At the beginning of the season, if people came to us and said, you know what, you could be in the top 4 at Christmas, would you take that? I think most of us, 9 times out of 10, considering some of the people on the stream were saying, oh, we're going to come 7th, we're going to come 8th, we're going to come 10th. I think most of us would have taken that. Most of us would have took the top 4 at Christmas. Big up, Stephen. Stephen, again, any players United are in for, the whole world goes after them. Yeah, this is what happens, mate. This is what happened with Arsenal, with Declan Rice. It's happened with Chelsea. A lot of times Chelsea have done this. It's happened, obviously, with Man City have done this as well. Man United were after Cherki before City. Man United were after other players before City came in. The reason is you snooze, you lose in this game, isn't it? You snooze, you lose. If you don't get the deals done, if you don't get the groundwork done before anyone else, you're going to miss out on good players. And that's what the great thing is about Man City and teams like that. They get the groundwork done, they get the deals done, and this is exactly what's going on. Exactly what I said this morning about Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck is also interested, showing interest from Chelsea and Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal. So what do Man United need to do? We need to move fast. Now, obviously, there's Elliot Anderson, who is very, very important for me in regards to Man United signing him. I think he would be an absolute game changer for Man United. I really do. But the problem is Man City are after him as well. Man City want him as well. And Man City, I bet your bottom dollar, are going to get the groundwork done and they're going to ensure that he chooses them. So what do Man United do? Just sit down and they need to get up and they need to start getting to work and start, ensuring that we get these deals done. I don't want to be hearing any pessimism about January window that you know what, it's not good to do deals in January and blah, de, blah, de, blah, blah, de, blah, de, blah. At the end of the day, I see January as a perfect opportunity. I think it represents an amazing opportunity for Man United to do business. I really do. And hopefully they do, because other teams will pull away from us. And then we're going to have only ourselves to blame at the end of the day, guys. And that is the thing, isn't it? You know, absolutely. Big up, Stephen, of course. Dave, let me just read Dave's comment. Dave, I think these Monday night fixtures are tended to put more pressure on United because we play only one game a week during the weekend. Most of the teams have points. Listen, Dave, you know what? I've been saying it. We don't win. It reflects poorly on us. Yes, Dave, you're very intelligent with the comment there, because at the end of the day, it's true. And people could deny it, say, oh, Man United just making excuses and stuff like that. But it's absolutely true. Man United have played the last... I notice it because obviously, usually I'm in the UAE, and in the games they kick off at midnight, so I feel it, So at the end of the day, when we're doing 3 games out of 4 or 4 games out of 5 with a late kickoff on a Monday night, you obviously think that there's something sinister going on there. And I do believe there is, because obviously they're looking at Man United and think, oh, you know what, Man United, they ain't got a European football during the week. They might get better. They might qualify for Europe. They might solidify a European place instead of one of our favourites, basically. And that's what it is. And you know who their favourites are. Their favourites are Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City. They love them. They love them. They don't love Man United at the end of the day. In particular, the media pundits, not even our own legends don't like us. So at the end of the day, what can we say? Let alone the media and all that. And I do believe that sometimes that our ex-legends are playing onto the media. They're playing with the media because the media don't like Man United. And when you think of the overlap and things like that, right, they're actually run by Sky. So Sky, we all know that Sky don't like us. So that's exactly why that a lot of these media, these ex-players, especially Man United ex-players, are just doom and gloom merchants. Do you know what I mean? It's funny how David Beckham's the completely opposite. But yeah, in regards to the Monday night kickoffs, absolutely. The Monday night kickoffs are getting ridiculous now. And, I never liked Monday night kickoffs. I don't think Man United have really done well with Monday nights. I can't remember any great Monday nights for Man United, if I'm being real, guys. Absolutely not. Big up Phil, the man. What's going on, my friend? Glad you see you, right, Faye. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, I rode very, very early hours of the morning via Rome, of course. And now I'm in Naples, guys. Naples in Italy. So, yeah, arrived safely. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, it's freezing cold over here. I'm not used to the cold. I seem to have forgotten how cold Europe is. I forgot. I didn't know. I thought, you know what? Nah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be like, you know what? You get complacent when you're in UAE or, Abu Dhabi, like I am most of the time. So you get complacent with the weather and you think, it's not that cold. Don't worry about that. I've suffered worse. And then you get here and you're like, oh my goodness me, God blimey, and you have to start moving, because at the end of the day, you freeze. Big up, Phil. Thank you so much, my friend. Kenny, we are going to dominate the beat Bournemouth, so that media don't need to milk it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Kenny. Hopefully we do. Hey, big up, Rene. How you doing? I've missed a few short shows while I was in Vegas. Big up. How was Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Mr. Ray there. So hope you're doing well. Are there any promising leads on the January midfield signing I may have missed? I've been speaking about Schlotterbeck just now, of course, and there's also Siddiqui, who plays for Sunderland. That's been doing the airways at the moment. Of course, Man United are linked to upping amounts of midfielders at the moment. Who Man United get, that's all up in the air. Elliot Anderson obviously is one that we're going to be talking about quite potently, because obviously there's a competition for Elliot Anderson, and it does look like Elliot Anderson will leave Nottingham Forest. And it does remain to be seen. Do Man United need a midfielder? Absolutely not one. They need 2. But I don't think Man United are going to sign 2 midfielders. I think they'll sign 1. Conor Gallagher, of course, is the stopgap option that we were talking about last week. But, I think that Man United need to think about more long-term, if I'm being real. I don't mind Conor Gallagher. I told you, I think people are sleeping on Conor Gallagher, to be honest. It'd be a good signing for the squad. But I think Man United need first-team players who can come into that team and say, yeah, like, I'm ready, I'm going to play, and I'm going to move Man United up the table. Elliot Anderson is one of them. Adam Morton is another of them. And there's other scatterings of names around. Of course, Yavi Guerra, Yura Giza, Lamine Kamara as well, guys, is another one. Kone Oroba is another midfielder that Man United have been touted, of course, as to being interested in, guys. There is, like, I can write a book, or can literally write an A to Z of players that Man United have been linked with over this last 3 years, in particular in the midfield over this last 3 months, of course. Darren, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Arsenal are laughing because United beat Wolves and scored against us. They couldn't even score against Wolves. A low 2 late own goals. 2 own goals, exactly that, guys. And you know what the funniest thing, Darren, big up Darren, I hope you're doing well. The funniest thing about it is that our own fans after the Wolves game, I said it on Mo's channel. I said, if I woke up from a slumber or some sort of cocoon, or I was kidnapped, for example, and I was released, and I watched social media and I looked at social media, I would have actually thought that Man United lost that game. I would have actually thought that Man United lost the game against Wolves, because the way people were going on was absolutely pathetic. How can we concede a goal against Wolves? We are not prime Barcelona. We are not prime Manchester United from the late 90s yet. And people are saying, why did we concede a goal against Man United in a 4-1 win? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, what are these guys on? They are seriously deranged. They've been seriously kicked by a horse. I'm telling you, because these guys, all they care about, I don't know. I think the perfect word for them is narcissism. I think they're narcissists. All of them are narcissists, and they don't want to be proven wrong. Everyone else is to blame. No one can say that they're wrong. No one can say anything wrong about them, and I think that is the problem. That is a big problem within the fan base. You know what I mean, Dave? Darren, big up, Darren. Good morning, Pearl. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Love that Arsenal's result against Wolves was from 2-0 goals. Yeah. And Man United were getting bantered for beating Wolves 4-1. Should have won 8-1 as well. Dave, facts are people keep glazing Arsenal as if they don't start a season like us and they start to capitulate. I mean, I don't know what's going on, Dave. I don't know. They've lost only two less games than us. We've lost 4. They've lost 2. They're not really miles and miles ahead of us, as we've seen in history. 8-point leads can be overtaken within a month. I saw that in 2012, of course. It is pathetic, Dave. It really is. It's pathetic, and it's ridiculous that people are glazing them and people are trying to gaslight everyone into thinking that they're the biggest club ever. That's basically what people are trying to say at the moment with Arsenal. And they're not. They're a good football team. Don't get me wrong. They're a good football team. But by all means, in regards to one of the greats in the Premier League, and I've seen a lot of great teams, they're not even in the top 20 or even 30. I would say that. And people need to calm down a little bit in regards to the glazing. I know why they're doing it though, Dave. They're not doing it because they believe it. They're doing it because, you know what, they're getting Arsenal fans on their channel, and all the Arsenal fans, are clicking likes and praising them and feeding their ego. Of course, absolutely. Watching Arsenal last night shows there are no outstanding teams. I agree. Any of the 6 teams could win the league. I agree, Donin, and each for their own. And he who dares wins. Basically, that's what I would say. Absolutely spot on. There's teams that I would even say the top 8. There's teams that can go on a run and can get into into the mix. Of course, Arsenal consistently are winning more games than everyone else. They're not outstanding, though, as you said, but they are the most consistent team, I would say. But look, whoever goes on a run, what's been proven, PTSD and all that, what's been proven is that Arsenal crumble when the going gets hot. When the going gets hot, Arsenal crumble, and they've done that before, not least if Man City are hot on their tails, continually hot on their tails. If Man City win today, they're 2 points behind Arsenal, and then we go on from there. What is 2 points? And Man United, people talk about Man United overtaking Man City just a few weeks ago. Man United win their games. Man United are going to get up there as well. And this is what we want at the end of the day, don't we? We want teams in the mix. We want teams to challenge. We want more than 1 or 2 teams to challenge. You know what I mean? Kenny, Arsenal definitely going to lose to Everton. Look, I hope so, mate. I hope so. I don't want to win. Good morning, Tybog. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Long time no see. Hope everything is good with you, you legend. So, what did you meet Messi? Wow, when did you meet Messi, by the way? Hackney Marshes in London. Hackney Marshes, many years ago. Tybog, you know where Hackney Marshes is? It's in East London. Arsenal won't win. The thing with Hackney Marshes, let me just clarify it. Hackney Marshes is an area next to Leighton in East London, Hackney. There's a pitch there, and basically it's made famous because lots of famous footballers played there. That's why they shot the Eric Cantona Nike video there with Robbie Fowler, Eric Cantona, Ian Wright, and stuff like that. They filmed it at Hackney Marshes because Hackney Marshes is like a bedrock of history in regards to youth football and up-and-coming football. When I used to play there when I was a kid, I used to go to Hackney Marshes. I played with a lot of players. I mean, at the end of the day, lots of players who played these days. But Messi went down there just to see Hackney Marshes, so pay homage to it, and that's worth them. He came on a helicopter, by the way. Tyberg, Arsenal won't win anything this season. They look solid right now, but after 2 or 3 bad results, they will collapse as they always do. And Tyberg, haven't we been speaking about this? Isn't it? We've been speaking about this a long time. The overemphasizing of the positivity about Arsenal is ridiculous, and it's unwarranted because yes, they've had some good results, but I'm looking at their results and I'm thinking, look, they got lucky a few games as well. There's a few games there that they've been very lucky. But every time they played someone, I'm like, nah, I'm not being like, wow, off my seat. Absolutely brilliant. I can't believe how good Arsenal. I'm not been like that once. And look, all dues to them, all fairness to them that, you know what, they're top of the league. Well done at the end of the day. Do I think they'll stay there? No, it's just like the elephant in the tree, isn't it? That famous meme about Arsenal. I know the elephant can hold on to a branch, but you and me know that that branch is not going to last very long, isn't it? If you're an elephant hanging onto a branch on a tree at the top of the tree, you know that elephant is not going to last very long. You know that tree is going to crack and that branch is going to fall off and that elephant's going to fall to the floor. That is a representation of what Arsenal are. That's what they are. They're at the top for now, and when they're holding on now, like the elephant on a tree, they're gonna fall eventually. And we all know we just sit there with our popcorn, and we know that the elephant on the tree is gonna fall down. Of course, guys, absolutely. Big up Tyborg, legend. Good to see you, man. Dave, Sonia, what's going on? Morning, Sal. Big up, my friend. Big up Stretford Post. Thank you so much, Dave. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back, my guy. I hope everything is blessed with you. Of course. Sal, those comments after the Wolves game 4-1 win is not good enough for some fans. I mean, it's not good enough for that Man United win 4-1. Listen, you know what, Tybo, you know as well as I do, you know, that if Man United won 4-1 against Wolves, for example, in 1997, you know that would be a good result for Man United. All right, even though Wolves don't score goals, you and me know, Tyborg, that Man United have gone to Molineux with better teams and lost to Wolves and drawn to Wolves and things like that. So for Man United to go and win 4-1, winning 4-1 at any time is a good result. If we went to, let me give you an example. If we went to Torquay United in the lower divisions and won 4-1, none of us would say, we only won 4-1, would we? At the end of the day, we're talking about Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League here. We won 4-1. And as it was clarified and confirmed yesterday, everything we've been talking about the last week about, 4-1's not good enough. How can we concede a goal against Wolves? That's disgraceful. Arsenal should have drawn to Wolves at home, right? And the 2 own goals were the reason that they won that game. You know? Big up, David. Big up, my friend. Big up, of course. Mark, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. How you doing, buddy? Hope everything is blessed with you, my guy. Big up, Sal. Hope you're well, bud. Big up the live chat. Big up yourself. Like the video and support the homie. Bring on Bournemouth. We're going to smash it. Come on, Mark. Really, really appreciate you, my guy. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, mate. I know Man United are not playing. It's not that fun, but I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Yes, absolutely, guys. And don't forget, I will be live today for the watch-alongs. I'll be doing a double watch-along with Man City and Sunderland, Man City and Crystal Palace, Sunderland and Newcastle, of course, which is a big game in Tyneside, of course. Newcastle Sunderland is more of an even match now, isn't it? Sunderland, in fact, better than Newcastle. So that I'm doing that, and of course, I'm doing the Bournemouth watch along tomorrow. So make sure you guys join me for that massive game against Bournemouth tomorrow. And look, guys, I'm in Italy, so it's not going to kick off at midnight. Isn't that a good thing, guys? Absolutely. Dave, hit the like. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, don't forget to hit the likes, guys. Thank you so much. Big up yourself. Chelsea closing in on Keith Smith. Keith Smith is another player, Joe Gambino, that I've spoken about on the channel. But as I've said many, many times, you snooze, you lose in football. If you don't go after these players, if you don't get the deal groundwork of the deal done, you're going to lose out on these players because there's many teams around the world and many teams that have money these days, and they're gonna go after these players as well. So we unfortunately, if Chelsea do manage to scoop Keith Smith, it's not confirmed, but if they do, then we miss out because he's a good player. Real Madrid also interested in Keith Smith, by the way. Absolutely. Big up Jay Gambino. Hi, Sal. Chelsea closing on the Keith Smith. Hope United don't miss out on another De Bruyne. He is a really cheap and a good replacement. I agree, Jay Gambino. I do not know for the life of me, Jay, why Man United don't get these deals done quickly, because they are cheap, Jay, like you said. They are cheap, and I don't know why we don't do it. And this is exactly the frustration that I've had for many, many years in regards to the Glazers, in regards to Ineos. This is exactly the problem. We miss out on good players, and players are also very affordable. We almost missed out on sending the men's guys. We got them in the last minute, right? Players that are very good. You know what I mean? That we're missing out on because we're slow, and we say, we don't really want to spend money. No, we don't really want to. And then obviously this is a problem, and hopefully he doesn't go to Chelsea. Hopefully Man United do the deal. But I just can't for the life of me seeing Man United doing the deal. You get that feeling of negativity. I know I shouldn't feel that way, but you do get that feeling, overwhelming feeling that they're not going to do that deal. And it's sad, really. Garrett, big up Garrett. How you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? Good morning, Sal. I'm glad to say thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Garrett. Thank you for your well wishes and stuff. Tyberg, we are near the top 4 and it's almost Christmas. This is what I was hoping for in the beginning of the season. So I am happy. Let's not forget the season we had last season. So the improvement is obvious. One thing I would like to point out, Tyberg, that pound for pound, I think we've had the hardest start as well. In the opening 10 games, 40% of our opening 10 games were from the teams from the top 4. For teams from the top 4. We played Liverpool, we played Man City, we played Chelsea, we played, who else did we play? Arsenal as well. So, this is what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Man United had a tough start to the season, and we played Brighton, not to mention Brighton and Sunderland are doing well as well, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. We played them as well. So pound for pound, Man United have had the toughest start to the season, and there's no rest for the wicked. We still got tough games to come as well. But hopefully now that Man United's the games are dying down in regards to the difficulty of the games. Hopefully that we'll have better results and stuff and start shooting up the table. We're only 1 point from 4th. As you said there, Tyborg, at the beginning of last season, at the beginning of this season, if someone said to us at December, you will be in the top 4, I think many of us would have ripped your hand off. Many of us would have said, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. We're not a million miles from the top either, by the way. Absolutely. Big up Tyborg, the legend. Thank you so much, my guy. Garrett. Good morning, Sal. I'm glad you made it safe, Journey. Big up. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate you, my guy, of course. Sadiq's teammates at Dr. Congo are Tuanzebe and suing United and the Wan-Bissaka who we sold. Not sure they will speak positive about United. We can talk about that all day long till the cows come home. But Onana's the same thing. Onana plays for Cameroon. There's players that Man United wanted in Mbeumo. Onana wasn't really in good terms with Man United when we were after in Mbeumo. So it doesn't matter. I think players are more inclined to have their own mentality. If they haven't got their own brain, then they're not really right for Man United. If they get influence from what other people say, then they're not right. Man United will be Man United at the end of the day. Man United will be Man United. They go, I want to go to Man United. That may have happened to you, but I'm going to see for myself. I'm going to go to Man United. It depends, isn't it? And if the player doesn't want to go to Man United because he's easily influenced, then so be it. Let him go off and then let him go somewhere else because we want players who want to play for Man United, of course. Dave. Is Victor Gokares and Goikozuna. It's like the wrestler Yokozuna. Victor Yokozuna. Any different from Hoyland? They clearly glazed that signing like a donut. And at the time, I told people to watch this game. You know what made Gyökeres look good, Dave? You know what made him look good? You know what the key is for Gyökeres looking so fantastic last season at Sporting Lisbon, winning the Golden Boot and all that? You know who it was? Ruben Amorim was the guy. Trust Ruben Amorim, and trust me, that would you know what I mean. Our strikers will come good, including Sesko. Absolutely, yeah. It's glad we missed out on that one. Good, Garrett. So I had enough of these legends that they target Amorim. So the owners, because they're clowns, they just want their season tickets and their free tickets. That's why they don't target the owners. I said this a number of times, Garrett. The reason they don't target the owners is because they got their own interests, a conflict of interest. They want their season tickets. They want tickets for their mates and that, because they mentioned it on the show before. Oh, well, no, can't get any tickets. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like the way it's them special to get tickets, and they were complaining about that. So they're not going to complain about the board, because obviously if they complain about the board, they'll get blacklisted from Old Trafford and they won't be able to get their tickets and their season tickets and their hospitality suites and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. United did well not to go for Delap and Gyökeres. I said that at the beginning. Delap was not the player for me. Absolutely. Darren, Scholes as a player shied away from talking interviews. Has a lot to say now. It's like he saved it all up, Darren. It's like he saved it in a box. Here's my little box of opinions throughout the 90s when he was at Sir Alex Ferguson was there. Here's my box of opinions. Here, I'm going to put all my opinions in that box and I'm going to close it until I retire. And then now, look, poof, he's out there talking to absolutely. Tyburg. We have to do at least 2 deals in January. There is a World Cup in the summer and will complicate things a bit. We need 2 midfielders and we need them now. I agree with you, Tyburg. You're absolutely right. You make a very good point there, because at the end of the day, if these players, i.e. Elliot Anderson, Wharton and that, go to the World Cup and they have fantastic World Cups, we all know what's going to happen, isn't it? The prices are going to elevate and we're not going to be able to afford them. Not only that, other teams are going to be after them and are going to be fighting to get those players, of course. So Man United do need to do business this January. It's a perfect opportunity. I've said it before. This January window is a perfect opportunity, and other teams will be doing business in January. We can't be sitting there twiddling our thumbs. Oh, don't worry about. We'll wait until the summer. We'll wait until the summer. We can't be doing that, guys. We need players in. Look, we're already struggling with the squad right now. Let alone when we lose in Mbeumo and Ahmad and Mazruri for the AFCON. We need to go out there and make some business, do some work, because at the end of the day, rest on your laurels and you're gonna fall short. This league is very tight. It's going to be fine margins. Who's going to get in the top 4? Who's going to get in the top 2 and the top 3 in the first? It's going to be fine margins. So we have to make sure that we go that little bit extra. We get that little bit, a little bit of a positivity in regards to transfer and that, and which will obviously help us and boost our chances of getting the Champions League. I'm really disappointed that I'm hearing rumours that Man United, they're not interested in the January transfer window, because at the end of the day, this is a perfect example, like I said. And if they don't back Ruben Amorim in the January transfer window, we all know what they're all about. We kind of already know anyway, but we all know what they're all about. Solidified, signed, sealed, delivered. They're not interested in Man United being successful. They're interested in about business. That's all they're interested in. And let's hope they do. I'm not going to completely rule them out, but let's hope they do, because they have to. Man United do need players. Man United do need a stronger squad at the end of the day, especially during the AFCON, when we're going to be totally light on players, of course, guys, and that's going to be a worry. And it is a worry. We should worry about those things, because you know what? And Bremo has been arguably our best player. Mazraoui is brilliant. Of course, he's just come back as well. Mazraoui shouldn't really go. He's just come back from an injury as well, guys. Ahmad is going to be for Ivory Coast as well, guys. But I will be looking at things glass half full. I will be trying to do some watch-alongs for the AFCON, of course. Of course, I will be trying to do that, because obviously it's a good, obviously, talent watch. When you're watching the AFCON, it's a talent watch as well. You can see talented players, ones you're not necessarily going to be exposed to. So I'm looking forward to seeing the AFCON in regards to that. I am, of course, a very selfish, and I think many of us are when it comes to Manchester United, because the most important thing is that Man United are in a very, very important part of their history, right? And if we fail to qualify for the Champions League, it's going to be very detrimental, very harmful for this football club. And obviously I'm going to be on a selfish level and say, yeah, look, you know what, Man United, we don't need the AFCON because Man United need to qualify for the Champions League. I know it sounds selfish, it is, but at the end of the day, we want Man United to succeed. That is our bread and butter. I couldn't care less about the international football. I'll be honest, guys. I couldn't care less. Just like when the World Cup qualifiers come on, when the European champion qualifiers come on, I got the same energy. I've got the same energy. No matter what, I'm like, you know what? I'm fed up with these internationals. People know that when the England game comes on. No, I'm an England fan. I watch England. I like England. I watch England. I'm English. I like England to win. But when it's the international break, I'm not happy. I'm not bouncing up and down in a room and saying, yeah, international football's back. No, I'm bored of it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I just want the league to be the league, and the league to be concentrated 100% on the league. Not, oh, no, now we got the European qualifiers, and then we got the Nations League qualifiers, and then we got the World Cup qualifiers, and then we got the AFCON and the Asian tournament. And it's just getting ridiculous, isn't it, at the end of the day? Absolutely. And I do hope that, they do look at this in the future in regards to that, because obviously Christmas time as well. The funniest thing is it's Christmas time, which is probably the most busiest time for the Premier League as well. And obviously it's not even in between. Like, it starts on December the 21st, and between December the 21st and the 1st of January, there's no transfer window, so no teams can do transfers. That makes it even worse. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And then obviously we can do transfers on the 1st of January, but that's going to take time. So you won't probably get a deal done till probably the 10th of January. By that time, the AFCON is over. Do you know what I mean? And then, it just makes me laugh, honestly. And then people think that you're being harsh and that. Oh, my goodness. I'm still hoping that the rumours coming out of United, considering January is just mind games, not just mind games. Surely they can't be so deluded to think the team is good enough. But guys, I said just now, if they do go into that January transfer window and they don't sign anyone, then as well as I do know that we know where they stand. We know what they are. Yeah. If they go out there and they purchase a couple of midfielders, a couple of players, then we're going to say, well, fair play. You know what I mean? I'm going to be fair where fair is due. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say fair play. They brought in a couple of players. They did well. Absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? But if they don't, I'm going to be the flip side. I'm going to be completely opposite. And I'm going to say, well, what did they do? Why didn't they sign anyone? They're leaving Ruben Amorim out to dry. They're hanging him out to dry. They're throwing him in with the Sharks, I really hope that is not the vibe come January, because Man United do need signings. Of course we do, and I'm worried, of course, about the AFCON as well. You know what I mean? I mean, it's bad enough with our first team, like, let alone when we get players going out on loan and stuff like that, going out on the AFCON international break as well. So let's hope that, fingers crossed, and let's see what happens. Obviously, in January, there's links to players, of course. I'm not saying that they have to go out there and have to play Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson. I mean, that would be lovely if they did that. It would be very, very pleasantly refreshing for them to do that. But at least get the lower tier players to come in that are good players, like the Keys, like we're talking about there. You know what I mean? Keys, players of that ilk. You know what I mean? And players that can come in and do well at Man United. Siddiqui at Wolves is doing very well. These type of players, bring them in. You know what I mean? Even if it is the worst come to worst, we get Conor Gallagher in who can act as cover in that squad. You know what I mean? And be there. And, looking at Man United at the moment, though, you're looking at Man United, we do need attacking players as well. Obviously, Mbeumo's going, Ahmad's going, all that right-hand side, Mazruri as well. All that right-hand side is going to be null and void for a month. So, look, not just in regards to the AFCON, I'm not just bringing about the AFCON, but in regards to, the future of Man United and qualifying for this Champions League ultimately, because that is what I want ultimately, isn't it, at the end of the day? Kenny, is Onana confirmed in the Cameroon squad? I heard that it was dispute between him and Eto'o Cameroon Football Federation. There was rumours that he was dislodged from the Cameroon international team. They were picking 4 goalkeepers and he weren't one of them, the squad. I haven't really been paying attention in regards to Onana, Kenny, I'll be honest. I haven't really been paying attention. All I'm concentrating on is him coming back to Man United and being sold. Obviously, that's all I care about Onana at the moment. I don't really care if he plays for Cameroon or not because it's not affecting Man United at the moment. So, look, I wish nothing bad on Cameroon, of course. And, what I would say is that, I hope that he leaves Man United and I hope that for the best for him, He's already sabotaged us this season in regards to the League Cup. And let's be honest, guys, we need that League Cup. We need it so we can play a couple of those youngsters and stuff like that. That would be good, of course. Glazers out, AK Glazers out and Ineos out, absolutely. Donnin, yes, Hope Mines games, they are not going to say much now, but they will spend but difficult January to get players currently in Champions League. I understand Gallagher, it's a done deal. Let's wait and see in regards to Gallagher, but it's not in realms of impossibility to get Champions League football. Keith Smith is not a Champions League footballer. These players are not Champions League footballer. Yavi Guerra is not a Champions League footballer. Lamine Kamara is not a Champions League footballer. Luciano Gume is not a Champions League footballer. There's many players out there that they can get. There's no excuses for Ineos. There's no excuses for them not to make any business in January. Conor Gallagher is the tip of the iceberg. There are many, many players out there they can get. Sadiki from Sunderland. There's another one for you. He's not in the Champions League, at least I'm aware. So there you go. Look, Elliot Anderson is not in the Champions League, So at the end of the day, it depends how much they want it. They want it and they want to prove to me that they want it. Show me then. Show me that you want to make Man United success. Show me that you back Ruben Amorim. Show me. Because if we go into that window, right, and we only get one player like a Conor Gallagher, who, let's be real, guys, the most important thing for Man United is to get players for the long term and to get players that are going to be there for a long time and improve the squad. Gallagher would be a great squad player. That's about it. That's about it. He's not going to elevate Man United to the level. I like Gallagher. As I said, I backed him to the bone. But, he's not going to get us to that level that we need to be. We need an Elliot Anderson. We need an Adam Wharton and all the names that I've been mentioning for weeks and weeks and weeks. That's what Man United need. So if they go out there and they get the groundwork done for Elliot Anderson, even if they get a pre-agreement with Elliot Anderson, I'll be like, great. But if we're just like, Conor Gallagher, well, you know what? They're not very good then because I could probably sign Conor Gallagher for Man United. Don't need much brains there to do that at the end of the day. So now I want to see some work. I want to see why the Ineoses are getting paid the money that they're getting paid to do the work that they're going to do. I hope so. If they don't, then obviously it solidifies the narrative that they don't really care. Because if we miss out on the Champions League by a point, come May, right? We're going to be looking back on this January and the AFCON and saying, well, they didn't back Ruben Amorim. What did we say last January? What did we say? On Stretford Post, what did we say? You know what? We're going to miss out on the European football because we didn't work the January transfer window. Now, when I'm hearing rumours about, you know what, we're going to wait to the summer, let's wait to the summer, and then we'll see where we are, whether we're in Europe or not. Well, the biggest reason that you might not qualify for Europe is because of the January window. Teams sign players in January window so that they can qualify for Europe, right? And solidify or get into safety or whatever. But Man United level is qualified for Europe, right? It does make me laugh. There's no value in the market and all this malarkey and stuff like that. When I think about it, it's ridiculous. And I hope that Man United do business, and I hope they prove me wrong and will slap me around the face with a big wet salmon. But I just don't see it happening to 100%. I would not put my life on them doing that at the end of the day, And they already made a lot of false promises. They made a lot of false promises about the summer transfer window, which they gave us a 4 out of 10 window. It was a 4 out of 10 window, and we have to be honest. They already broken promises already. So anyone who just walks into hell with a blindfold is going to get burned. And that's one thing I would say about Ineos. Trusting them blindfolded when they haven't really proven anything, guys. Guys, let me tell you, people talk about Cunha and Mbeumo. They should have signed for Man United anyway. Cunha and Mbeumo would sign for Man United. They're playing for Brentford and Wolves. Wolves. Why wouldn't they sign for Man United? It's an easy signing to do. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? We didn't have competition for them either. And this is what we're talking about, apart from obviously the other team who wanted him. I don't know. I think someone wanted Bremer. Big up and needing Bremer to back ASAP. I hope so. I don't want to wish Cameroon bad, but I do hope that Cameroon get knocked out early so that we can have him Bremer in particular back, of course. Sal, would you be satisfied with a 4th place at the end of the season? I'll be honest, Tybal, yes, I would be satisfied with a 4th place. Considering the way the league's gone, considering that Ruben Amorim had a 4 out of 10 window, I think that would be absolutely an astonishing season if Man United come in the top 4. I think there would be. I'm not going to be delusional here and say that, no, I want the 1st place. I know ultimately, Tybal, bro, we won the challenge for the league title. And I believe next season, if we get in the top 4, this will be our benchmark. This will be our opportunity to get better players, to have more money, to basically ultimately get into position to challenge for the league. And that's what I would say. Coming in the top 4 is imperative, is important. Getting in the Champions League for Man United right now is the most important thing for me, is getting into Champions League right now. And then later in next season, we can obviously start thinking about challenging for the league and stuff like that, and getting in the latter stages of the Champions League and stuff like that. And fingers crossed, you know what I mean? I think that Man United are in a good place at the moment. We're only 1 point from 4th. And then, you know what, guys? Look, I'm not going to totally rule out the opportunity to come higher because, we carry on winning games. We can go higher out that league, and who knows what can happen. Football's a funny old game, isn't it? Who knows what can happen? But ultimately, right now, what's good for Man United is to get in those top 4 positions and top 5, ultimately, for the Champions League. And then we can go from strength to strength. Trying to forget, Anana, so am I, or not? So am I, Donning. Trying to keep getting reminded. Do you watch matches in the other leagues? Yes, I do. Oh, man, I watch every league, more or less. I am up to date with football, whether it's Hearts of Oak in Ghana, FC Tokyo in Japan. I'm up to date, mate. Don't worry about that. I'm not like those other channels, my friend. Absolutely. If it's FC Hacken, whatever you want, guys, I'll do it. If it's Cremonese in Italy, I would be there. But yeah, guys, I'm doing a lot of work over here as well, football side of things as well. So keep an eye out, keep it locked and stuff like that over here, guys. Absolutely. Meant just Europe, not just Champions League. And meant just not Europe, not just Champions. Yeah, well, they should be getting players anyway from Europe and the Champions League at the end of the day. We're Man United. We should be able to get certain players like Elliot Anderson as well. We should be able to get him, even though you think he cares about the Conference League and Europa League. He will want to come to Man United, of course. If they don't get Elliot Anderson and these type of players, then you know where they're going, guys. What Man United need is Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton, And then if they can't get those players, then we're looking at Luciano Gume and Kamara and Kone and these players as well. We're looking at the next tier. If they can't get those players, then what are we doing here at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean? They need to start putting their finger out and start working. At the end of the day, if they don't do business in January, if they only get Conor Gallagher on a loan with an obligation to buy, then because at the end of the day, I can do that. I can get Conor Gallagher if you want. I'll make a phone call for phone calls. Do you want to sign for Man United? Of course I do. I'm not playing for Atletico Madrid at the moment. Of course I want to sign for Man United. What am I doing here? Of course. When do I catch the plane and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? Hopefully Typho will push on considering how inconsistent the league is. Absolutely. We could push on next season. Good morning, Slice of Zip. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. What's the top news today, this fine morning? Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good. I was just talking about today about Nico Schlotterbeck, of course, of Borussia Dortmund. Man United, of course. It was an exclusive on Stretford Post, by the way, many, many weeks ago. We spoke about it again a couple of weeks ago, and now we're speaking about Schlotterbeck again, the left-sided defensive player. So, look, Man United are very interested in the Schlotterbeck. I like Schlotterbeck. I think he's a fantastic player. Only 26 years old still. Borussia Dortmund, 23 caps for Germany. 40 million euros he will set us back. Probably that'll go up to 50, 55 million euros. But believe me, he's worth it. Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Man City are all after and interested in Mr. Schlotterbeck. So hopefully Man United do that. Another one is Noah Sadiki. Noah Sadiki, of course, is the Sunderland player who Man United have been linked with over the last 48 hours. Man United are looking to do deals that will be a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean? They are looking at the moment in January. That will be a little bit, won't break the bank, so to speak, guys. Absolutely. And that's what we're looking for right now. Man United are looking at the cheaper options. They are looking at cheaper options. Even in the summer, they are looking at cheaper options. That has already been clarified. They're looking at players that are talented, but also bargains. That's what they're looking at the moment. Yeah, guys. Elliot Anderson certainly won't be a bargain. He will be a lot of money. Tyberg, Onana should officially apologize to us for destroying our watch-alongs last season. He started our lives. Well, he shorted our lives for 2 years with these mistakes. Lamens is such a breath of fresh air. Isn't it funny, Tybo, that we don't even mention Lamens? Like when we're playing, when Man United are playing, and we don't even mention or worry about Lamens. I think that's a good sign of a goalkeeper. When you don't even worry about them, you're not worried about, they're going to make a mistake any minute or something like that. You don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, breath of fresh air, but absolutely right. And not only that. Let's look at the League Cup. I mean, we would be lying to ourselves if we didn't believe he sabotaged our League Cup. He sabotaged the Grimsby game. He let in those penalties. He let in those goals. He wanted Man United to get knocked out. And Nana should apologise. He's come out and apologise. But you know what? He needs to go. He's coming back in the summer. That's another thing. You know what I mean? And we need to hope that he goes. We are for sure getting European Champions League, but we are close to pushing for Champions League. True, we are for sure getting Europa League. Yes, and we are pushing for the Champions League. It's up to us, isn't it? Slice of Sip. It's up to us to do the business and up to us to get the result tomorrow. And if we can get the result against Bournemouth, I'm going to start believing a little bit more. And every single time we win, of course, we have every right to start being a little bit more zealous and a little bit more believing in where we can go. I believe it. I believe it. Really do. I believe that. I believe Man United are getting the Champions League. I do that. I said at the beginning of the season. I think Man United are getting the Champions League. Man United are going to surprise a lot of people. Unfortunately, with the pessimist view, there was a lot of people coming on the stream saying we're going to come 10th, and I think that would be a good season. How is in any sort of era Man United coming 10th? A good season. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I believe that. I think top 5. At the moment, it's not clarified, slice to say, but the way the Premier League teams are doing it depends on their performances in the Champions League and Europa League and in European football in general. The way Premier League teams are doing at the moment, it looks like Man United looks like it's going to be top 5, not top 4. Hopefully we just get in the top 4. That would be good. Good morning, Wesley. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Big up. Do you think it will be a good idea if we go for sign Rodrigo? Real Madrid, Rodrigo? It wouldn't be a bad idea. It would be a good idea in January. We need a player. We need an attacking player to replace Bremo. Absolutely. Definitely. LT, big at Sal. So disappointed in Scholes when he attacked Aaron because of the way he went in and at him wasn't fact-driven and it was criticising every manager we had. But exactly what you said there. It wasn't fact-driven. It was agenda-driven. It was sinister-driven. And thankfully, LT, we got a legend like David Beckham who countered that. We got a legend like David Beckham who actually has intelligence. And doesn't talk like he's been kicked with a horse. Right? At the end of the day, I love Paul Scholes. I think he's an absolute legend. But David Beckham, 9 times out of 10, is far, far, far more intelligent than Paul Scholes can be in football, in everything. Paul Scholes speaks in a tone that is malicious. He speaks in a malicious tone, and he has an anger about him that is like something there. I don't know why. Maybe that's perhaps why he didn't talk to media for 20 years. Now, Paul Scholes, for me, is the best English player of the last generation of 30, 40 years, right? That is a given. I'm not going to say that. But as a pundit, he says some smart things, then he comes out with absolute dumb things that I'm like, what are you talking about, mate? What are you talking about? You're such a good manager. You know so much about Man United. You know what is a Man United. The thing is, for me, he said that Man United have never played a back three. Man United have always played a 4-4-2. I've always played a 4-3-3. I've always played a 4-4-5-1. That is a lie. No, we haven't. Check your fat books, Paul. Check your fat books. Man United have not always played those formations, right? This is the thing. Talking blindly, walking into hell with a blindfold. You're going to get burnt with facts. And that is exactly what's going on right here. No, we did not only play that formation. Absolutely not. We must sign Gomez from Wall. He's a good player. Not sure what happened to him the other night. Disappeared against Man United. We got Cunha and Bremo. We 200% can get Anderson play, but absolutely slice the sip. Let's prove it, though. Getting Cunha and Bremo is a little bit different. I'll tell you why. Slice the sip. Getting Cunha and Bremo, there was no competition. There was no competition for those players apart from Newcastle and Bremo. But and Bremo, obviously, Newcastle, Man United is completely different. In regards to Elliot Anderson, Baleba, and Wharton, we can get Baleba. Obviously, Baleba's not playing well. Of course, we can get him. I can get him. But if we had the money. Anderson and Wharton are wanted by Real Madrid, right? Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. So if we manage to get one of those players, I'm not putting pressure on them to get both of those players. If we manage to get one of those players, I'll say, well done. Fair play. They got him. But we got competition. Let's wait and see. It's just like when I was talking about Schlotterbeck just now. You look at Schlotterbeck, what's the highlighting factor about Schlotterbeck? He's wanted by Liverpool. He's wanted by Real Madrid. He's wanted by Chelsea. He's wanted by Arsenal. He's wanted by all the big clubs, which means he's a good player. Cunha and Bremo, Cunha was a release clause before the fiscal year. It was a release clause. No one after him. We paid the release clause. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Right? In Bremo, it's Man United or Newcastle. Who's he going to pick? And it was close, guys. He almost picked, trust me, he ended up picking Man United. You know? So let's see what they can do, you know, and let's see what we can do going forward. But I'm not going to throw trust at Ineos completely. I would prefer Anderson is better than Wharton and Belabor. Football, Scholes is the greatest midfielder in here, but his opinion we're mostly wrong. What I would say about it, Slicer Civ, is that many ex-players, not just Paul Scholes, they're not very knowledgeable about football. They're good at football, but they're not good at the nooks and crannies about football, because when you look at the greatest managers of all time, for example, a lot of the managers, I say majority, not all of them, were not necessarily world-class players. And like, you know what I mean? Not world-class. Like Alex Ferguson was a good player. Wasn't like the world-class, one of the best in the world. Arsene Wenger was a decent player. The only ones you get is these days is Zidane and Pep Guardiola, of course. And, you know, but Pep Guardiola obviously came into a generation of great players and money. And so did Zidane. He came into a generational team of Real Madrid and stuff like that. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Big up, Toby. How you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Great with the goalkeeper situation, but any injury to him sets us back. We need another goalkeeper. Absolutely. But we don't need Anana back. I'd rather have Heaton, mate. But why Gomez didn't play against us? It can be we bought by United. Could be, Wesley. Could be. Good point. Could be. You mean you're reading between lines? You're looking at that Cunha thing, isn't it? You're reading between lines. Anana apologise. He should apologise to goalkeeping history. That's what he should do, Toby. He should apologise for calling himself a goalkeeper. That's what he should do. Throughout the history of football, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to smash a like, guys. We need to get up to that 40 likes, 50 likes, guys. 50 likes before the end of the show. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be fantastic. Put your notifications on as well. I am live later for the watch-alongs, guys. So join me for that. I will be live at, I believe it will be... what UK time would it be? So it won't be 2:30. It'll be 1:30 UK time. I will be live for the watch-alongs, guys. 1:30 UK time, 2:30 Central European time, which is Italian time, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. You're absolute legends. Don't forget to subscribe again. I'm doing the Sunderland Newcastle game, guys. I'm doing that today, and I'm doing the Man City Crystal Palace game, and I'm keeping an eye on the other games, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham as well. I'm keeping an eye on that as well, guys. You're absolute legends as usual, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for being patient. Yesterday I wasn't with you, but thank you for continuing to watch the channel, share the videos, smashing a like and stuff like that. I really appreciate everyone. Take it easy. See you later. Peace.